Hello class 9th. Today we are going to start with the next lesson. Lesson number 6, The Age of Guptas. Main objectives, introduction, sources, two types of sources. One is literary sources and archaeological sources. In literary sources we will discuss the accounts of Fahian. In archaeological sources we will discuss Allahabad pillar inscription. Before discussion of the topic we must know the following terms. Pilgrim, a person who journeys or travels to a sacred place for a religious reason. Literary source, literary source are the source of information through literature, for example, books, written informations. Archaeological source, these sources includes building, houses, poetry, seals, coin, monuments, etc. Economic condition, financial position of the country. Inscription, a record inscribed on a monument or on a hard surface. Reign, hold royal office, rule as a monarch, or period of rule of a monarch. Observation, action of monitoring something or someone. Introduction. The Gupta Empire was ruled by the members of Gupta dynasty. Dynasty means series of the ruler from same family. From around the period from 320 CE to 540 CE. This dynasty covered most of the northern central India. The time of Gupta Empire is referred to as the golden age of India in science, mathematics, astronomy, religion, philosophy. The Gupta rulers were great conquerors and good administrators. Chandragupta I was the eminent ruler of Gupta dynasty from the period 320 to 335 CE. The successor of Chandragupta I was the Samudragupta, who was known as the Napoleon of India. Successor of Samudragupta was Chandragupta II, was also known as the Vikramaditya, who entered into the matrimonial alliances as a part of his foreign policy. Now let's come to the reading part. Lesson number 6, The Age of Guptas. Sources. The various sources, both literary and archaeological, help us a lot of getting the knowledge and information about Gupta dynasty. Dynasty means series of rulers from the same family from the period 320 to 540 CE. It means the period of about the 2 centuries from the early 4th century AD is known as the imperial age of the Guptas. During this period, India made progress in the field of education, science, culture. Period is also known as the classical age or the golden age of Indian history. The main sources of information about the Gupta age is literary sources and archaeological sources. Sources. The main source of information about the Guptas are as follows. Literary sources, that is accounts of Fahian. Archaeological source, the Allahabad pillar inscription on Prayag Prashasti. Accounts of Fahian. Fahian was Buddhist pilgrim who visited India during the reign of Chandragupta Vikramaditya or Chandragupta II. He visited India on a religious mission, though he was interested in Buddhism. Yet he had written good deal about the Gupta king, his administration, social condition, economic condition, religious conditions of Indians during the Gupta period. According to Fahian, Madh was very prosperous country with large towns, wealthy population. Now, Patliputra was flourishing city with the number of charitable institutions, including hospital, which were owned by the benevolent citizens, means kind and helping citizens. During his stay in India, he went on pilgrimage to Mathura, Kanauj, Kapilavastu, Kushinagar, Vaishali, Patliputra, Kashi, and Rajgira. From the above account, it can be said that Gupta Empire was prosperous and governed by enlightened principles. Literary sources. The Fahian's account. Fahian was a Buddhist pilgrim who visited India during the reign of Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Though he was more interested in Buddhism, yet he had written a good deal about Gupta king, his administration, as well as social, economic, and religious condition of India during the Gupta period. According to Fahian, Magh was prosperous country with large towns, teeming with the wealthy population. Patliputra was flourishing city with numerous charitable institutions, including a hospital owned by benevolent citizens. It means the Fa Hian was the earliest Chinese pilgrim who visited India on a religious mission during the reign of Chandragupta II. During his stay in India, he went to the pilgrimage to many places like Mathura, Kannauj, Kapilavastu, Kushinagar, Vaishali, Patliputra, Kashi, and Rajgira, and made very careful observation about the condition at that time about the Guptas. During his stay, Fahian observed that Madh was a very prosperous state with a large town teeming with wealthy population. The capital city, Patliputra, was a flourishing city with numerous charitable institutions, including a hospital, which were owned by the kind and helping citizens. Although the people were wealthy, they led simple lives, generally observing the Buddhist rules of conduct. According to the Fahian accounts, we can say that Gupta Empire was prosperous and governed on enlightened principles. Archaeological sources. The Allahabad pillar inscription, the most important source of information regarding Samudragupta, is inscription that is found written on Ashoka's pillar, which stands in Allahabad fort. This inscription was written by Hari Sen, the court poet of Samudragupta, and so on. It contains a first-hand knowledge about Samudragupta's reign. It describes the reign of Guptas. It also provides an impressive list of kings and the tribal republics that were conquered by Samudragupta. Emphasizing the importance of inscription, one historian has rightly remarked, upon this single record rests the name and fame of the real founder of the Gupta Empire. It means Allahabad pillar inscription is one of the important epigraphic evidence of the imperial Guptas, which is composed by Harisena, who was the court poet of Samudragupta. Allahabad pillar inscription is written in praise of Samudragupta, who was most powerful Gupta ruler, and he was also known as Napoleon of India. Moreover, the Allahabad inscription also describes the reign of the Guptas in ancient India. Besides, it provides an impressive list of the kings and the tribal republics that were conquered by Samudragupta. The inscription is also important because of the political geography of India, that it includes by naming the different kings and the people who populated India in the first half of the 14th century AD. Today we will do till here, and you will have to reread this both resources, that is accounts of Fahian and the Allahabad pillar inscription, learn the basic terms, and kindly follow the snap homework. Thank you.